Mark Thompson gripped the steering wheel tighter as his old pickup truck rattled down the fog-shrouded highway. It was past midnight, and the drive from Seattle to his cabin in the Cascades had turned eerie. The radio sputtered static, and his phone had lost signal miles ago. At 32, Mark was no stranger to solitude. He'd moved out here after his divorce, craving the quiet woods. But tonight, the fog felt alive, whispering against the windows like fingers scratching for entry. A shape darted across the road ahead. Mark slammed the brakes, tires screeching. The truck fishtailed, stopping inches from a deer or what looked like one. Its eyes glowed unnaturally red in the headlights before it melted into the mist. Heart pounding, Mark cursed under his breath. Just wildlife, he muttered, but the unease lingered. He accelerated, the engine's rumble, his only companion. The whispers started then, faint at first like wind through pines, but soon they formed words. Mark? Come back. His name, clear as day. He glanced at the rearview mirror. Nothing but swirling gray. Hallucinating, he told himself. Long hours at the logging site were catching up. But the whispers grew louder, insistent. We miss you, join us. Panic prickled his skin. He cranked the radio, but every station hissed the same. Mark. He switched it off, pulse racing. The fog thickened, reducing visibility to a few feet. Something brushed the truck's side, a branch? No, the road was clear. Then a handprint smeared the passenger window from the outside, fading as quickly as it appeared. Mark floored the gas. The speedometer climbed to 70, 80. The whispers turned to laughter, echoing inside the cab. In the mirror, a face flickered, pale, hollow-eyed, with a grin too wide. It was his ex-wife, Sarah, but twisted, her features melting like wax. Sarah had died 2 years ago in a hiking accident, body never found. This isn't real, Mark growled, but doubt gnawed at him. Hadn't there been rumors? Locals whispered of the fog walkers, spirits of the lost who lured the living into the mist. The truck hit a pothole, jolting him. Ahead, the road curved sharply. He swerved, but the fog birthed shapes, humanoid figures shambling toward him. One reached out, fingers elongating like smoke. Mark veered off the pavement, bouncing onto a dirt shoulder. The engine stalled. Silence fell, broken only by his ragged breaths. He tried the ignition. Nothing. The whispers returned closer. You're ours now. The door handle rattled. Mark locked it, fumbling for his phone, still no signal. Outside, the figures circled, their forms shifting. One pressed against the glass, face morphing into his mother's, who had passed from cancer last year. Let me in, son, it rasped. Adrenaline surged. Mark grabbed his flashlight from the glove box, its beam cutting through the gloom. The light hit the figure, and it recoiled, dissolving with a shriek. Light hurts them, he realized, but the battery was low. He restarted the truck. Miraculously, it roared to life. He peeled out, dirt spraying. The pursuit intensified. The fog walkers kept pace, darting alongside the truck. One leaped onto the hood, claws scraping metal. Mark swerved, flinging it off. Another smashed the side mirror, glass shattering. Blood trickled from a cut on his cheek. Stay alive, he chanted. His cabin was only 10 miles away. If he could reach it, the wards he'd jokingly installed after hearing the legends might help. Iron nails in the door frames, salt lines, superstition. But now his only hope. The road narrowed into the forest. Trees loomed like sentinels. The whispers evolved into screams, pounding his eardrums. Die with us. Visions assaulted him. Sarah's fall off the cliff, her screams echoing, his mother's final breath in the hospital. Guilt twisted like a knife. He hadn't been there for either. A massive shape blocked the path, a fogwalker giant, limbs like twisted roots. Mark braked hard, then reversed. The truck lurched backward, but the entity lunged. He spun the wheel, crashing through underbrush. Branches whipped the windows. The entity grabbed the tailgate, dragging the truck slower. Mark shifted gears, accelerating forward. Metal groaned as the bumper tore free. 5 miles left. His hands shook on the wheel. The flashlight dimmed, but he kept it on, sweeping the beam. The walkers hissed, retreating momentarily. But they adapted, flanking from shadows. One pierced the roof with ethereal claws, cold air rushing in. Mark stabbed upward with a hunting knife from his belt. The blade passed through mist, but the entity wailed, withdrawing. The cabin's lights flickered in the distance. Hope flared, but the fog densified, the truck's engine sputtering as if choked. Whispers turned personal. You left her to die. Worthless. Sarah's voice accused him. Tears blurred his vision. I'm sorry, he whispered, but pushed on. 2 miles. A walker materialized inside the cab, icy fingers around his throat. Choking, Mark swung the flashlight. The beam seared it, banishing the apparition. Gasping, he floored it. The cabin loomed. 1 mile. The horde converged, slamming the truck from all sides. Windows cracked. Mark's arm burned from a slash. Blood soaked his shirt. Almost there. He burst into the clearing. The truck skidded to a halt at the cabin door. He leaped out, flashlight in one hand, knife in the other. The walkers swarmed, but as he crossed the salt line threshold, they halted, screeching in fury. Inside, he barred the door with iron. The whispers pounded like thunder, shaking walls. Mark collapsed against the wall, heart hammering. The fog pressed against windows, faces, Sarah's, his mother's, strangers, pleading, threatening. Dawn crept hours later. The fog lifted, whispers fading to silence. Mark staggered outside, alive but shattered. Scars marred his skin and doubt lingered. Were they gone or waiting for the next night? He'd survived, for now. But the mountains held secrets and the fog always returned.